po sa ating mga 1AIS 4, 1AIS 5, and 1AIS 6. Tapos sa atin po mga 1 3 na students ng City College. So ito po ang ating last lecture for the semester. So ang topic natin ay Internet of Things. So this is your Living in the IT Era Finals Lecture 5. So I'm recording this ng madaling araw with the hope na sana kayo din ay magsagot ng madaling araw para hindi po bumangga ang inyong hindi tayo mag-conflict dun sa ibang gumagamit ng e-guro para sure na swabe ang inyong pagsagot. So last lecture po ito, please bear with me. So ito po ang ating lesson objectives. So define the Internet of Things, understand further the components of Internet of Things, classify the difference between applications of Internet of Things, and evaluate the impacts of applications of Internet of Things in the real world. So, what is the Internet of Things? Basically, it is a set of machines na interconnected through the web. So, ang best example nito ay mga smart homes, mga smart hotels, uh, anything na merong word na smart tapos more than one appliances dun sa bahay nyo. So for example, meron kang phone sa bahay tapos meron kang CCTV sa bahay tapos yung CCTV mo pwede mo nakakonect sa phone. That is counted as an Internet of Things na appliances or equipment. So how does it work? So basically these are types of devices na interconnected. So, if you will notice din dun sa ating textbook definition, ganun yung pagkaka-explain niya. It's possible for us to have two or more appliances na interconnected. So, for example, yung inyong TV ay connected sa internet pag smart TV siya tapos allowed kayong manood ng Netflix or Max or Disney Plus doon. Ganun siya. And basically, it also there are instances where Internet of Things uses AI, especially dun sa mga pag nagse-search kayo ng prompt. Okay? So examples po ng IoT system. So it could either be a sensor, antenna, or microcontroller. Tapos meron siyang dadaanan na IoT hub or gateway. Tapos yung last part niya ay either yung mga appliances na. Ayan. So backend systems, so customer relationship CRM or ERP systems, and user interface na system. So I have here uh, one infographic regarding IoT. So right now, by 2020, 40 to 50 billion appliances or devices are interconnected by IoT compared in 2003 to 2010 na meron lamang pong 10 to 20 billion na appliances na connected. Tapos, most of the most commonly used IoT right now, IoT device has sensors. So, ayan. So, ambient light, accelerometer, magnetometer, and also the other other equipment here. Tapos ang before mag-pandemic po, ang IoT industry is worth 14.4 trillion dollars. So most appliances na bago assumed na kasama siya dun sa umbrella or bracket ng Internet of Things. So I have here another infographics regarding Internet of Things as well. Its growth was unprecedented to the point na it quadrupled from 2015 to 2021. Tapos right now, almost 16 billion devices are IoT devices. And by 2021, it became 28 billion. And another notable note here is uh, there is a chance that IoT devices might overtake mobile phones as the largest category of connected devices. So, what is the connection between IoT, big data, and artificial intelligence? So, basically, all three of them are using interconnected databases, and they are also uh, big into connectivity. And due to that, there is integration between the three. Examples as well are uh, they can lead to economic growth, and since they are counted as a growth driver, they are basically bundled up as a bracket or as a connection. So we also have another slide here which says uh, AI will be, or artificial intelligence will be, the gateway between IoT and big data. So I have here uh, another diagram of IoT. So if you will notice, big data is where the database is, or the data is, or the information is, and it will provide the artificial intelligence with what it needs, and the AI system will now be implemented through the Internet of Things or through the connected devices. Kaya banggit yan provide thinking for digital devices and automated devices. Okay, so what are the data related issues? One of the concerns that we have is, can the data or can the storage keep up? Kasi ang sabi dito, uh, by 2020, last 2020, before nung nag-pandemic, it's already estimated that it would have 44 zettabytes or trillion gigabytes na pag natuloy yung IoT devices na interconnected. So, ang concern nila ngayon ay papaano tayo mag handle ng private data or personal data due to Data Privacy Acts. Kasi ang problem, since you are allowed to collect data, what kind of data is restricted, what kind of data is private, and what kind of data can be shared to anyone. So, benefits of the organization to IoT. So, I have here 7. So, just please take note of this kasi baka lumabas siya sa inyong quiz na ibibigay ko din. So, I have here another infographic of Internet of Things. So, as mentioned earlier, its growth is breakneck to say the least, meaning ano siya, parang nag-explode siya, parang ano siya. Yung sales ko this year ay exponentially larger dun sa next year, kasi yung mga dating appliances na hindi naman smart appliances, pag kinonvert into smart appliances, automatic po IoT related na siya or IoT na siya na bracket. Kaya lumalaki bigla yung scope or yung dami ng kinikita ng ano, kasi imbis na bukod na appliances makakount. So another slide for benefits to organizations. Ayan. So possible po ng IoT ay maging prevalent or maging laging ginagamit sa manufacturing, transportation, utility organizations. Tapos ang mga usual na ginagamit sa kanya ay sensor. So right now, yun ang pinakamalaking IoT na na technology na nagagamit ay sensors. So possible siya na gamitin for uh, factory or for industry based, possible din siya for agriculture or for weather. Kasi yan ang sabi dito, yung sensors are allowed to project yung number of rain, so hindi man number of rainfall, data ng rainfall, tapos humidity and temperature and soil content. And also IoT is possible to have touched most of the most other industries, including healthcare, finance, retail, and marketing. Manufacturing. Kasi yung quality of life will improve, or yung efficiency will improve if you are implementing an IoT device doon sa inyong workplace. So advantages and disadvantages of IoT. So these are the advantages. Ito naman po yung disadvantage niya. So ito pa po. So what are the applications of IoT in the real world? So first concern natin ay IoT sensors, kasi ito yung binabanggit natin kanina. So Arduino and Raspberry are the pioneers or the leading softwares or hardwares that we can use for implementing types of IoT sensors. So, ayan po. So, IoT can also be used for data analytics kasi uh, predictive and descriptive analysis is basically yung mga forecasting kasi to eh. Ang ending, kunwari, nagko-call center kayo. So, bigay ko na lang as example ha. Nagko-call center kayo. For traditionally, yung, kunwari, today, December 8, merong 100 calls for the whole day. So, based from the number that we have, yung 100 days, using IoT data analytics, allowed kayo na magsabi kung ilan ang kailangan pumasok, kung allowed kayo na magpauwi ng tao or magpauwi ng agent o kaya hindi kayo allowed na magpauwi kasi depende doon yung inyong uh, number or kailangan yung mga agents para tumanggap ng tawag for the duration of the shift. So I also have here IoT platform na example ng Watson. So meron tayong tatlo. So analytics, device management, and risk management. So yung analytics po ay pupunta sa sensors and networks. So yung device management ay pupunta sa other data sources and yung risk management po ay pupunta sa applications and other IoT platforms. So another one that we have is IoT tracking and monitoring system. So radio frequency and GPS is currently using Internet of Things kasi it allows you to have real-time progress kung nasaan na kayo kung kayo gumagamit ng GPS. So possible din po na yung GPS natin ay regardless ng kung nasaan kayo as long as ang gamit ninyo ay either gadget na phone o kaya nasa sasakyan, possible siya na matrace kung nasaan kayo. So possible din po na magkaroon tayo ng Internet of Things na connected factory. So halimbawa, si Tesla, meron siyang planta sa China, meron din siyang planta sa Houston. So, pwede po na namomonitor lahat ng nangyayari doon na meron office na nagmomonitor sa kanya. So, ang nangyayari, lahat ng ins and outs nakikita po nung employer natin or nung inyong may-ari. So, kung bawa bumaba ang output, tumaas, makikita agad. Hindi na siya kailangang i-report. So, ganito naman po yung example ng internet connectivity pagdating po sa mga industries. So, meron tayong multifactory analytics, machine monitoring system, energy monitoring, logistics, asset track and trace, and IT-OT integration. So, just please take note of this kasi baka po yan ay lumabas sa inyong quiz and exam kasi siya naka-diagram. So, smart supply chain management kasi most of the time supply chain ay nakadepende doon sa dami or doon sa kailangang orderin. Tapos hangga't walang order, hindi po dadating yung supply. So, possible po na gumamit tayo ng IoT na hindi na kailangan mag-manual order, dumidiretso na siya doon sa scheduled order na. Kasi forecasted na ko hanggang kailan yung mauubos yung stock or hanggang kailan siya okay, tas tsaka siya papalitan. So, ganito po yung diagram natin with regard sa smart supply chain. So, ayan. So, possible ngayon na ultimo yung inventory management ay naka-Internet of Things, meaning pag in-integrate siya sa IoT at saka sa AI, hindi na kailangang binabantayan kasi naka-ready na siya. Kumbaga, naka-schedule agad yung shipping niya at saka yung distribution niya. So, meron din po tayong smart barcode readers. So, basically, po yan? Best example niyan ay yung mga barcode na cloud connected, tapos halimbawa yung sa ID ninyo, yung anywhere pwede siyang i-present, pwedeng gamitin. Tapos kapag nagamit siya, halimbawa may yung school ninyo or yung company ninyo partner si EK, kunwari si EK na lang. Tapos, matetrace po ng company ninyo kung sino yung mga nag-avail ng discount kung kayo ay nagpunta doon at nagpa-swipe or ginamit ninyo yung ID ninyo. Possible siyang ganon. So, ganito itsura nyo. So, usually, pasok dun sa QR code, naman siya. Ganon siya. Tapos smart grid po. So basically smart grid ay yung ano natin, yung power supply lines natin na possible ngayon na imbis na buong area ang nawalan ng kuryente, kaya pong i-clusterize na lang kasi possible na ang papatayin ko lang yung part na affected ng kunwari may bagyo. So halimbawa ang may bagyo ay San Pablo lang. So San Pablo lang po yung tatanggalan natin ng kuryente, hindi yung buong grid. Kasi dati ang nangyayari, pag nawalan ng kuryente, lahat nawawalan ng kuryente. Ngayon, possible na siya na per cluster lang or per section. Tapos next po natin ay connected healthcare system. So ano po ang healthcare system natin? So Internet of Medical Things ang tawag dyan. So possible po na yung, kunwari ako ay nagpa MRI sa CDC, sa Calamba Doctors. Pag nagpunta ako ng global, makikita pa rin po ng doktor ko yung results ko ng kunwari biopsy or MRI or ECG doon sa Calamba Doctors kasi interconnected yung mga hospitals. So usually ito ay ang implementation nito usually per state O kaya either per state o kaya nakadepende dun sa medical insurance na company na hawak ng hospital. Kunwari, naka-IntelliCare sa Calamba Doctor. So lahat ng IntelliCare possible na makita yung results ng test mo. Tapos ito naman po yung ating ang ating infographics regarding IoT trends and use cases. So possible siya na magkaroon ng smart hospital, wearable devices, smart patient rooms, patient monitoring, drug management, emergency notifications at saka video doctor. So itong video doctor na ito yung tinatawag natin na e-consulta. Parang medyo na ito ngayon. Medyo prevalent na siya ngayon. So possible din po na meron tayong electronic medical records, help for researchers, analytics and AI, and predictive equipment maintenance. So current issues and problems in using IoT. So meron tayong security, data integrity, encryption capabilities, privacy issues, common framework, automation and updations, and also security. So ang problem kasi nito, possible ngayon na hindi lang kayo ang nakakakita nung inyong tawag dito ng inyong since interconnected siya, hindi lang kayo ang makakakita ng inyong bahay or ng inyong devices kasi yung mismo nag-install or hackable na kasi siya since connected siya sa internet. Anything kasi na ma-connect sa internet is vulnerable to hack. Yun yung problem ng IoT. Kasi especially pag hindi kayo nag-encrypt or hindi kayo naglagay ng mga proper safety or safeguards para hindi basta-basta ma-access ang inyong system, madali siyang ma-compromise. Tapos isa pang concern ay privacy kasi same din dun sa ating previous na concern sa AI or dun sa kasi ang hindi walang capacity ang IoT devices na alamin kung alin yung data na private at saka yung data na public. Kaya yun nga yung concern naman dito ay cyber surveillance. Pag nahack kayo, tapos naka-CCTV kayo, possible na makita yung ginagawa nyo sa bahay ninyo nung hacker. Tapos meron din tayong internet walls. Ayan po. And also cloud attacks. So ayan. So anong ibig sabihin ng cloud attacks? Possible kapag nalagay kasi sa cloud yung data ninyo, mahirap siyang tanggalin. Ang problem ngayon is once na na-leak siya, there is no way for us to minimize the damage kasi nga siya kumbaga na i-release na sa public. Tapos understanding IoT, so what we have here is lack of confidence kasi since hindi pa tayo sure sa ating security setup, medyo yung iba kabadong gamitin or gawin connected lahat ng smart devices nila sa kanilang sa IoT. Okay, so that will conclude our last lecture for the semester. So I hope po na you enjoyed yung classes natin kasi ako naman ay hopefully na next semester tayo ay possible tayo na na tawag dyan na possible po na tayo ay mag face to face na. So if ever we see each other sa campus, just please greet me na lang po